Oh, say, can you see? Yeah, that's right. We're having an election. It's getting crazy this next year. And 40 other countries are going into election season. South Africa, India, Mexico. The EU is having a parliamentary change as well. It's going to be nuts. So this video is all about that. We're going to share predictions on who we think will get elected. And we go and we bring like a non-biased approach. We have Mark and Marlayna from Good Old Boys and Buzzscreens. So check out this video and enjoy it. Remember, this is as unbiased as possible. And we're trying to make sure to like engage with you and share relevant information. With AI and with the confusion in media, we'll see influencers rise up to the occasion. And also you're gonna remember not to get like conflicted with each other, because we're all in it to win it. And at the end of the day, no matter what the candidate, the countries will still run and the people will run the country. So remember that and enjoy this episode.
Hey everyone, this is the Money Brew Show with DJ and Design. We're with Good Old Boys, Buzzscreens, and Buzz Shop.local. We're gonna play this game where it like bounces forward and back. So this is a crazy segment, and we're just closing it up on this. And I kind of sprung this on them, but you know, it's true. Politicians need CBD too, okay? No, I mean, everyone probably
more than
needs
anyone.
Yeah. I don't think most of us are excited about election season, but it is happening, and it's kind of just fun. You guys could go back and look at this and be like, well, what was their predictions, or what did they think? And I know I have my predictions because I like to overanalyze things just for fun, and I have like some really deep thinking sometimes. Take this with a grain of salt too, like whatever electoral party you are, liberal, you know, Republican, Democratic, we're doing this out of something fun, and it's not supposed to be as serious, like, oh, this is happening. It's more of like, hey, this is my best guess of the random stuff that can happen in politics, and this is where it's going.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame, though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you, come along and see us.
We went onto a site called predicted.com, and what they do is people bid on the different outcomes. So we have a Republican nominee outcome. We have a who will win the presidential election, which is this is like crazy how we've gotten this far. We were out of COVID. So we were all wondering, like, are we going to end up with a circus? You know, and it kind of does look like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, which is really fascinating. Like, even if you spoke to it very generally, like, I mean, Trump's mugshot, like, it's turned into a marketing campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have T-shirts now, they have cups. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So the first run, and we'll start with this one. Let's go. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's start with the Democratic nominees. Okay, what we have on this one is we have Joe Biden, we have Gavin Newsom, we have Kamala Harris, we have Robert Kennedy Jr., and then we have Pete. These are the highest on the top. There is more, by the way. And so for me on this one, like, this does affect business because it's different with every election, good or bad, whatever. But honestly, my best guess here is, you know, I think Uncle Joe may take it again, but I think if like crazy circumstances happen, I think Kamala Harris would have it, and that would like be like this crazy shell shock for a lot of people. It would be crazy. That was my speculation. What about you, Mark? You can only choose from these people.
You know, I'm gonna just say they're gonna go with Joe again.
Okay.
I hope they don't go with Gavin.
Gavin, yeah.
Because I spent the last 30 years in, mostly San Diego, California, and man, we tried to get that guy out of office.
It's hard.
A half a dozen times. He's he's not even a good governor.
So how many years now? It's been a lot of years.
Too many.
Yeah.
But you know, his auntie was.
Yeah, a lot of people say, you know, they've
in
kind
politics, Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, he had a lot of like people backing him up, and then I know there was a young YouTuber that tried to run against him, but then this like Meet Kevin basically on YouTube. Then this late start Republican came into the picture, and then it all became about the late start Republican, and then the young guy couldn't get his shot.
Yeah.
So they like used it almost like they used the Republican as bait.
And it's like, who even knows what's going to happen with Joe? I mean, his son's either going to take him down or not. Who knows?
So Mark would have like a 70% odd, and then you said just not Gavin, but it would be probably Joe.
If
70%.
anybody, would
okay,
win
and I
again.
said 8% for Kamala. So those of you who are putting funds behind it would be really ridiculous. Okay, now the one that's everywhere, who will win the Republican presidential nominee on the who will be the GOP like nomination for that?
Dun dun dun. AI. Okay, here we go, Daniel.
Okay, hey everyone. There's so many questions on this topic, and the big thing that they pushed on us is the fear of it. But let me go back to a story and an example. Remember those massive phones back in New York? Were all very like glamorous with our big phones. I have a friend, Mark LeClair, good old boys had one. He used to have one that he would run around with. And then boom, Nokia came out. And all of a sudden, the game was changed. So this is what I want to do. I'm shifting the way we're thinking about this. We're having a workshop that's going to be a maximizing AI workshop. It's going to be downtown Greeley at the Link Library. And our team has used like this on 20 different websites. And we've seen the results. Like you can get a tax credit for using a certain type of AI. You can get your email summarized. I'm happy to share with you at that event. There'll be breakout sessions. It's not just me talking and boring you. There is also a chef, an executive chef, Ken coming. Greg and them are key level sponsors. That's $199. You get 3 minutes. This video is going to rerun as well for a whole year. So they're going to get exposure all the way through.
Great, let's get ready for Daniel.
I honestly thought Trump was going to be like so beaten down that we wouldn't see him, you know? And like, because I mean, think about it. I come from a parliamentary system. It's like 5 different parties, and then you see, you know, there's like a list of them, and then you see who's making it or not. But this is crazy. So every presidential elect in the US is allowed to have 2 runs, 4 years each, and so he could technically have his second run. And there's like so much against this guy, or so it seems, right? He's the first president who's got a who's been indicted and has a mugshot. Like, who writes this stuff?
That was a marketing tool, the mugshot.
It was.
Right. Yeah, it's a great
They're like,
one.
wait, look.
Hey, any publicity,
Yeah.
right? It's good publicity.
Seconds after that mugshot came out, they had T-shirts and mugs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think
billions of dollars of
I think they rose,
advertising
like,
for free.
Million free dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have DeSantis, a very popular candidate, and then Vivek, the young guy, Nikki Haley, Glenn Youngkin, Tim Scott, and then we have Mike Pence, which is kind of insane to watch that happen. You know, vice president now competing with president. Very interesting move there. This politics stuff is really, you look at it in a marketing perspective, what is really going on?
Yeah.
Right? Like who's pulling what string where?
Marketers, I think, see right through the smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
I don't think the regular people do.
Yeah. Why
You
would
know what I
Mike
mean?
Pence come like so far down
Yeah.
the line
Yeah.
into this? It's crazy. There's got to be more there, right? We don't know. Christie, the New York governor, very popular. Mike Pompeo. So I didn't ever imagine Trump coming back into this race. I always thought DeSantis. I know a lot of people went for the South. They're about this. I think it's this North Dakota. Nikki. I think it's Nikki. She's the South Dakota governor.
Yeah.
Or South Carolina.
Something like that.
South Carolina.
Yeah. And I think like her big spiel was like China, and I think most Americans already knew that story. You know?
Right.
So I don't know. For me, I think I'm going to say the obvious thing. I think DeSantis, because I don't know if they're going to give Trump the day in office. Plus, I mean, this is just an opinion. Okay, like it's not for real. I like presidents like Mandela who united people, and it's like hard to see who are those people going to actually unite everyone.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if that is something, like if Trump can actually get to that place where he can unite people. Like Mandela did sports, he did culture, and he brought people together. He wasn't like trying to, and the US election system forces people to be that way. And unfortunately, it's bashing the other side. You go to the four founders, and it wasn't like that. It was, I do this on this right, I believe in these values, vote for me.
Well, when you look at the Democratic, what you just showed, there's only one heavy hitter, which is Joe.
Right.
So there's no vote splitting on the Democratic side when you look to see who's actually running.
Okay.
Nobody's really going to vote for Gavin Newsom, and he's like the number 2. When you look at the Republican Party and you see Donald Trump and DeSantis, apparently those are 2 heavy hitters.
Right.
So now you have vote splitting.
Okay.
Right? So on the Republican side, there's not a lot of vote splitting. On this, there is. That's why even in advertising, yes, we're going to advertise one person who's running for Loveland mayor.
Right.
We're not going to advertise anybody else.
So basically,
Because it just is going to create a vote split.
on the Republican side, it's now it's like a free for all to try and determine like where that vote's gonna land.
Yeah, votes are going to either go away from Trump or they're going to go away from DeSantis, and they're going to go up. So you're going to have all these people in the U.S. who are voting for, I like this person better than this person. But on the Democratic side, people really only care about Joe.
Let's make
on that whole list.
A fun prediction, okay? Mm-hmm. Do you think Trump will be blocked from running? Do we think that's going to happen?
I don't think so. You want to know why?
Tell me.
There's nothing in the constitutional election that says you cannot run for office if you're indicted. Indicted is not guilty.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Or you could indict every one of your competitors down the road being in office and just take them all out at the knees.
And aren't they going to be indicting Joe here pretty soon anyway?
So there's all those, right? There's like
so now everyone's indicted.
Yeah, it's like it's like who are we gonna have? What in the world? Okay. You guys thought 2016 was crazy. Wait until you see 2024, guys.
Man.
The movie trailer is playing. It's pretty epic.
It is.
It's like, what in the world?
Yeah,
I like that.
You're not going to get indicted unless people were really afraid of you.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so my guess is DeSantis is going to end up there. I don't know how. He's going to have to figure out his way. What do you guys think?
I think Trump will end up there.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. Okay, now the last one. Who will be the president-elect of the United States of America? Should we just cut the spot right here? Sure. I'm just joking. Mine had to be DeSantis because I said that, and we'll see how the dice rolls in this case. Pray for our politicians. You know what I mean? They have some heavy jobs ahead of them, but. You don't have to answer this part. I just thought it'd be fun to show you guys. So there's the odds, right? 45, 31, 9. And then it goes down from there. So it's pretty close.
I think from like a marketing...
the odds. Yeah.
From like a marketing perspective, if I were to market, knowing what I know now that I didn't know 8 years ago, I would probably say people knew, liked, and trusted Trump.
Right.
The economy did so much better. They gave Joe the opportunity.
Yeah. Bidenomics.
And we haven't really seen anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, do we go back to the person that we knew, liked, trusted, and valued, or do we stick with the person who hasn't shown us a whole lot of nothing? I mean, and that's from a marketing perspective.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, and it's a man. We can't predict the future. It's not our jobs. Like the Lord has to take care of that. And it's like, even if you go back and you say, okay, what if Trump was in office? You think about all those scenarios, right? The COVID, you have the whole thing where elections were questioned, and then you had the Ukrainian war.
Yeah.
And so we're all like, okay, well, what the heck would have happened? But we don't know that, right? So that's an unknown past thing. Okay, so it'll be very interesting to see these two go head to head. We're not gonna predict too much more. We're just gonna let it play out and. Yeah.
Can I throw one thing in the mix?
Sure, please do.
I really trust Americans. I believe that the grassroots of America, I believe these are hardworking, intelligent, wise people. And I believe that they have the mentality to look at the candidates and say, you know what? Whose track record do we want to follow for the next 4 years? Mm-hmm. And how's my pocketbook today versus how it was before? is the things that are up, as Bill Clinton said, the things that should be up are down, and things that are down that should be up. Well, you know, a logical person could look at these candidates and I think just like that, figure out what kind of future they want.
You know, controversy runs deep in our blood. I mean, even the name Good Old Boys is a very controversial name in certain parts of the United States. And it's funny because most people don't know this is a woman-owned, minority-owned company, you know, that has the name Good Old Boys. And most people think, well, Dukes of Hazzard, you know what I mean, like Southern. Well, that's not where it originated. And it originated in Great Britain in the late 1800s. And essentially, in the English dictionary, it means. Go ahead and tell them the meaning of it.
Well, in British English, it is a good old boy was like when the aristocracy would talk about the average person, and they would refer to him as a good old boy. And what that would mean to the other person was, this is a hardworking, honest, grassroots person that works hard. And so if he says that's a good old boy, the guy's thinking, I want to hire that guy. And so that is the meaning of good old boys. You can look it up in the dictionary and it'll do a better job than I just did.
Nice.
So,
okay. We are on the final taste test. Thanks for sticking with us. I hope your blood is not boiling or anything like that.
I thought we were done with the good stuff.
No, this is good stuff. We appreciate you guys. What if, like, at the end of the day, like he said, right? Get out there, vote, make your decisions on how you want to do that. There's a lot more options this year around, I think, than there was ever. So here we go. This is biltong. It's a South African delicacy. This is the chili lime flavor. So cyclists will eat it. People that really enjoy this kind of stuff will try it for working out and stuff because it's got a lot of creatine. Yeah. It's natural. It's not cooked. It's got very low preservatives. And you can see it. Right. You know how beef jerky is so hard? This is like this is a game changer. Right. They sell this at natural grocers. You can find them on the website too. This Kalahari, would you rather
eat Vegemite again or die?
Would you rather be chased by a voortrekker or let me just think.
By a what? A foot tracker?
Foot tracker, or
like a native tracking your.
Yeah, or by a really good shongololo.
What in the world?
So a foot tracker or a really big shongololo.
Well, you said really big.
I would say a foot tracker because I know what that is, and I could plan for the reception we're gonna have later.
Right.
What did you say?
I'll say foot tracker.
Good.
Especially if I'm lost.
That's great because a big shongololo is like a really big centipede.
Oh.
And you don't want to be chased by a centipede.
No.
But being chased by like an Afrikaans, basically pioneer is fur tracker. They were the ones who pioneered South Africa in their own right. When the English competed, Africans competed. The Dutch ended up winning. And they were very suppressive, which is not great. But then now we have like Mandela and the country's free and it's got African leadership and then, you know, the Dutch and the English are minority. So, nice. But it's cool. That's Fur Tracker. That's some history for you guys. Thanks so much, everyone who's involved. Tyler, everyone behind the scenes. We love you guys, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the future.
Thank you.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I put myself on the line for you guys. So cheers, whatever country you're out of. Thankfully, I could get my citizenship about a year ago. So I'm a baby American, little patriot, still learning my ropes, and hopefully I'm being a good citizen. So cheers everyone, bye.